Welcome back. A new day brings new stories that demand your attention, and believe me, this one is heavy. Storm clouds are gathering over Europe. The divide is deepening. There's no other way to put it anymore. The two largest groups in the European Parliament are planning to torpedo the next 7-year budget, openly challenging European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen's massive spending plan worth 1.8 trillion euros. But here's what really worries von der Leyen. Opponents have emerged within her own European People's Party, pushing to reject her proposed budget and turning against her. That's what keeps her up at night. Analysts explain that since the start of von der Leyen's second term, the European Commission has faced relentless criticism for lacking transparency, providing confusing, contradictory, or outright misleading information. And right now, the number of people dissatisfied with her leadership and her team is growing rapidly. During the plenary session from October 6th to 9th, the European Parliament will hold debates followed by votes on two motions of no confidence against European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen. So, like I said at the start, the storm clouds are gathering. That's not an exaggeration. I used to be inside one of those major media companies, one everyone knows. I watched stories get bent and shaped to fit whatever narrative they wanted. I couldn't stay, so I left. Now I work alone, speak freely, and I tell you what actually matters. If you're finding value in this, hit that like button and subscribe. It costs you nothing, but it helps this channel grow. And if you really want to support independent voices, consider becoming a sponsor. It means the world to me and keeps this work going. Now let's head to Germany. Security forces at Munich airport remain on high alert. At least, that's what they're telling everyone. Federal police continue working intensely to figure out what these mysterious drone appearances actually mean. Munich airport shut down operations again overnight on October 4th due to unidentified drones appearing in the airspace. By morning, flights resumed, but delays are expected throughout the entire day. Authorities say the operation has concluded, but representatives are refusing to provide any details about the circumstances. So we're watching this closely. Worth noting, Munich Airport is Germany's second largest. Just days earlier, on October 2nd, operations were also disrupted by unidentified drones. Everything's unfolding exactly as predicted. The escalation in this direction will only intensify, and it will keep intensifying. Meanwhile, in Germany, media outlets are buzzing with controversy. Angela Merkel criticized the celebration marking the 35th anniversary of German unity, specifically taking issue with the list of speakers. After German Chancellor Friedrich Merz spoke, French President Emmanuel Macron took the podium, as everyone knows, but the former Chancellor stated she would have preferred seeing someone else in that role. While she respects President Macron, perhaps they should have invited a guest from Eastern Europe or Eastern Germany instead. That's what Angela Merkel said openly. Basically, Macron is respected, but someone else should have spoken in his place. Analysts in the media explain, and they don't rule out, that she was referring to Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban. Just days ago, Angela Merkel visited Budapest as Orban's guest. He organized a lavish ceremonial reception for her to mark the release of the Hungarian edition of her memoirs. Angela Merkel thoroughly enjoyed the reception. Orban posted photos from the meeting on his social media page with the caption, "Once a chancellor, always a chancellor. Welcome to Hungary, Angela Merkel." The persecution of the right-wing party continues as well. For the second time in just a few days, the Alternative for Germany party office in Munich's Perlach district became the target of arson. According to police, it's still unclear whether this latest fire is connected to another blaze that occurred earlier this week in the same location. State security services are investigating both incidents. There's also intense discussion today about the parliamentary elections in the Czech Republic, the outcome of which could completely transform the country's political direction. According to public opinion polls, the movement led by former Czech Prime Minister Andrej Babiš is ahead of the pro-Western coalition of current government head Petr Fiala by 10 percentage points. If Babiš wins, the Czech Republic could join countries like Hungary and Slovakia. Now, could they blame TikTok for interference and cancel the results, like what happened earlier in Romania? That trick probably won't work in the Czech Republic, though maybe they'll come up with something else. We're watching. The intrigue here is enormous. Are you still with me? Good, because there's more. Don't forget to like this video and drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about what's happening across Europe. Your voice matters. There's also significant buzz coming out of Britain. For the first time in history, the Anglican Church is being led by a woman. 63-year-old Sarah Mullally has become the first woman ever to head the Anglican Church as the 106th Archbishop of Canterbury. Her predecessor resigned amid a scandal involving unacceptable behavior and actions that are better left unmentioned here. But now, for many, it came as a shocking announcement that the spiritual leader of the Church of England and Great Britain and the leader of the worldwide Anglican Communion is a woman for the first time in history. This follows a statement by United Kingdom Prime Minister Keir Starmer. It's worth adding immediately that Japan will also have its first female prime minister. 64-year-old Sanae Takaichi is preparing to become the first woman prime minister in the land of the rising sun. She was confirmed as the new party leader of Japan's ruling Liberal Democratic Party. After parliamentary approval of Takaichi's candidacy, she will assume office. The victorious Takaichi will replace the well-known Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba, who recently announced his resignation. Ishiba apologized to citizens, acknowledging he had clung to his position and that authorities failed to eliminate the Japanese people's distrust of state policy. Everything in this world is changing. Even the samurai aren't what they used to be. I think you've noticed that too. Sanae Takaichi, as she's been described, is known for her firm conservative stance. She's right-wing and advocates for revising Japan's pacifist constitution. She supports strengthening the military, traditional marriages, but opposes allowing women to access the imperial throne. In economics, she focuses on lowering taxes, regional subsidies, and supporting the energy sector. She also wants to develop semiconductor manufacturing. Under her leadership, Japan's relationship with the United States might change. There will be no blind worship. Now, regarding news from the United States of America. The Treasury Department is already considering issuing a new $1 coin featuring Donald Trump's image. This will be, as further explained, timed to coincide with the 250th anniversary of America's founding. Despite the forced government shutdown by radical leftists, the facts are clear. Under President Donald Trump's historic leadership, the American nation enters its 250th anniversary stronger, more prosperous, and better than ever. That's what was stated. They further explain this first design beautifully reflects the resilient spirit of the country and democracy, even in the face of tremendous obstacles. The coin's design itself shows Donald Trump against the backdrop of the American flag with a raised fist, reminiscent of the famous photograph taken after the attempt on Trump's life in Pennsylvania. Now, there's a new, major intrigue building. If this is the first design, will others appear by the end of his presidential term? A second? A third? Perhaps Trump's image on a $100 bill? Anything's possible. We're watching. Meanwhile, within the United States, the cleanup continues. The White House press secretary announced that President Donald Trump will put an end, once and for all, to the violent actions of radical leftists in Portland. The president has already instructed Defense Secretary Hegseth to provide everything necessary, including troops, to protect Portland, which is engulfed in conflict. That's what was said. Essentially, within the United States, there's a war of its own unfolding. Naturally, the victor is already known in advance, but let's set aside all that complexity for now. There are some interesting moments today. Not without them. In Scotland, immigration officials arrested a self-proclaimed king who, along with his small entourage, settled in the Scottish forests. These guys, occupying territory in the forest, declared themselves the Kingdom of Kubala and claimed they were reclaiming land stolen from their ancestors 400 years ago. But Scottish authorities didn't agree with this turn of events. Nobody agreed to return the land, so the reign didn't last long. Immigration officials, together with the sheriff, raided the camp, or rather, the kingdom. The king, originally from Ghana, and his servant were arrested for violating immigration laws. They were driven away in separate vans for questioning. The queen, originally from Zimbabwe, was given time to pack her belongings and left separately. That's the unfortunate end for the Kingdom of Kubala and its king. They didn't manage to accomplish what they set out to do. That's how things happen in our time too. So those are the key information points for today, for now, and they speak volumes. Write your opinion. Tell me what you think about everything happening. Before I go, let me recap what we covered today. Europe is fracturing. Von der Leyen faces votes of no confidence and budget rebellion from within her own party. Munich airport keeps shutting down over mysterious drones, and nobody's explaining why. Merkel snubbed Macron at Germany's unity celebration, possibly signaling support for Orban. The alternative for Germany keeps getting targeted with arson. Czech elections could flip the country's direction entirely, with Babiš surging ahead. Britain gets its first female Archbishop of Canterbury amid scandal, and Japan prepares for its first female prime minister in Sanai Takaichi, a hardline conservative. Back in the States, Trump might end up on a dollar coin to celebrate America's 250th anniversary, and Portland faces federal intervention to restore order. Oh, and Scotland arrested a self-proclaimed king who tried to reclaim ancestral forest land. His kingdom lasted about as long as you'd expect. If this breakdown helped you make sense of today's chaos, smash that like button and subscribe. This channel survives because of viewers like you. And if you believe in independent journalism that doesn't bow to corporate narratives, consider becoming a sponsor. It's personal, it's meaningful, and it keeps the truth flowing. I wish you peaceful skies, and I'll see you tomorrow. Trust me, there's always more to share. All the best to you.